Hello, and welcome back to another scripture edition of Maddie's Rap, the show where we rap about things that guys rap about. All right, I'm not going to beleaguer this too much with the introductions. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know that in 2020, I pretty much have said that I'm going to be doing mostly scripture editions of Maddie's Rap. So when you see me doing a Maddie's Rap this year, it's going to be scripture edition, okay? Now, for today's topic, let me jump right in by asking you a question. Have you ever wondered why the so-called Afro-American or the so-called black man excels in physical feats? Why is he so strong? Why is he so fast? Why is he such a great athlete? Why is he such a fierce soldier when he goes to war? Look at the accolades of the different units, military units that date back even to Washington, George Washington's era. And on through to the Tuskegee Airmen and I believe it was called the 766 Tank Battalion or something like that. The Black Panthers, as they were called during World War II. Just these the Harlem Hellfighters in World War I. Where did these guys get all this strength and ferocity from? Now, if you're like me, you probably have heard some of these stories that, during slavery, the slave master, he went and found the strongest and biggest male slave he could find, and then he mated him with the strongest, most powerful female slave, and that's how come, you got guys like LeBron James and, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, and blah, 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 blah. Did some of that stuff happen? Of course we know it did. But does that explain all of the strength collectively? No. And I'm not going to get into, some of you people watching this will say, this is bordering racist. And no, it's not at all. I'm talking fact here. We're talking history. Okay. Now, to say that the reason why so many so-called Afro-Americans or so many so-called black people in America are so strong, so fast, so physically gifted, is all attributed to breeding during slavery is to just not know. Okay, it's just to not know. So I want to share with you where you get your strength from and how it was passed down to you through your great granddaddy. Okay, all right, now. So let me move right along. We know, we talked about this before, it has been historically documented, okay, that the southern kingdom or the kingdom of Judah was the last to fall, okay, and we know that according to scripture as well as according to history that has not been widely taught in schools or in even universities, that the tribe of Judah found their way to the west coast of Africa through a number of different methods, okay, from the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD through the Spanish Inquisition of 1492 and beyond, where the so-called Jews or the Hebrews were expelled from the Iberian Peninsula. We know that the Iberian Peninsula was conquered in 711 AD by a collective group of Ishmaelites and Israelites that history labeled the Moors. Again, you get these bywords that detract away from the true history, the true lineage, the true identity of the people that were there that did the thing, okay? But anyway, we'll go with Moors for now because that's what history calls these people that were Ishmaelites and Israelites, okay? Anyway, we know that they were expelled from the Iberian Peninsula some 400 plus years later, okay? And, there was that war thing that happened, and then, of course, I won't get into it. There's a fantastic documentary on YouTube called Hidden Hebrews, and I believe it's Hidden Hebrews. Check out the Hidden Hebrews King David video by Benaya Israel. He breaks this stuff down far better than I ever could. So anyway, check that out. But we know that if you guys have seen some of my other videos, you've seen the maps that label the section of Africa known as the Slave Coast. There's a section in there called the Kingdom of Judah. And we know that was about where modern day Benin and Ghana are, and that the point of no return, all of that was part of where these people that are known today as African Americans or Afro-Americans or black people in America, where they came from and how they got here via the transatlantic slave trade. So I won't rehash that. But if we backtrace and we know that was Judah, And we know that some of the strength of Judah was even portrayed during the siege of Jerusalem, where the three of the most ferocious and battle-hardened Roman legions attacked the walls of Jerusalem and fought these starving brothers. And these brothers held out for 5 months and nearly captured General Titus on 2 occasions during that battle, or during that siege. And these people held off the mightiest of the Romans, who were well provisioned for 5 months with no food in their stomach. That in and of itself is a feat of strength. Okay, and it's not to brag. I mean, a lot of lesser men would have fallen a lot sooner. But anyway, I won't get into that. If you know the history, you know that was prophesied to happen because of the disobedience of Judah. But I won't get into that. Let me get back to telling you where you get your strength from. Okay, so let's look at this book. This book was a gift to me. This was a birthday gift to me last year from my wife. I told her I needed a printed copy of the Apocrypha. I did. By the way, the Apocrypha I think it's 13 or so books that were not. They were originally included in the 1611 King James Bible, but were taken out for some reasons I won't give my opinion on. But for different reasons, it was decided that those books were not to be included in the canon. The official story is, well, the authenticity of the authors could not be verified. Blah blah blah. Whatever. All right. So anyway, Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher with the complete Apocrypha by Derek Shaver. This book is available on Amazon. I do believe it's a print-on-demand book. You can kind of tell by looking at the quality of the cover, but it is what it is. I mean, print-on-demand sometimes is a lot smarter than if you're an independent author going with printing a whole bunch of books that are high quality and hoping you sell them. I know a few people that happen to. But anyway, so within this book, there is a book titled The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Who are the 12 patriarchs? The 12 sons of Jacob, a.k.a. Israel. All right? Now, why did I go to Judah? For obvious reasons. As a product of the transatlantic slave trade, I know that Judah was the tribe, or is the tribe, that I'm a member of. And, for those of you that want to argue that, I'm not arguing with you. You be who you want to be. That's fine. You can be whoever you want to be. I know who I am. All right? Now, Judah, the Testament of Judah. Without further ado, I'm going to get in here and show you that because Judah is your great granddaddy, you got his blood in you, and Jacob for that matter too. But we won't get into that. These were men who were strong. They were strong. But let's talk about Judah. Let's deal with Judah. When I'm done reading this section of the Testament of Judah, which is one of the chapters in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, you're going to know that this hogwash of, well, all black people are strong or can dance or can sing or whatever, because they were bred to be that way. Nah. Some of that happened, yes, but that is not the prevailing explanation or reason why that is the case. So let me get into this. The Testament of Judah, the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. The copy of the words of Judah, what things he spake to his sons before he died. They gathered themselves together, therefore, and came to him, and he said to them, Hearken, my children, to Judah your father. I was the fourth son born to my father Jacob, and Leah my mother named me Judah, saying, I give thanks to the Lord, because he had given me a fourth son also. I was swift in my youth, and obedient to my father in everything. And I honored my mother and my mother's sister. And it came to pass, when I became a man, that my father blessed me, saying, Thou shalt be a king, prospering in all things. And the Lord showed me favor in all my works, both in the field and in the house. And I know that I raced a hind, or a female deer, and caught it, and prepared the meat for my father, and he did eat. Now this is Judah. He chased a deer on foot and caught it. Some of y'all that hunt deer know that you're not catching a deer on foot. If he gets out of range of your bow or whatever, or ducking and dodging that rifle shot, he's gone. You can't catch him. Judah did. All right. And the roes I used to master in the chase, and overtake all that was in the plains. A wild mare I overtook, or basically a maverick, a wild horse. A wild mare I overtook and caught it and tamed it. I slew a lion and plucked a kid out of its mouth, or a baby goat. I took a bear by its paw and hurled it down the cliff, and it was crushed. I outran the wild boar, and seizing it as I ran, tore it asunder. A leopard in Hebron leaped upon my dog, and I caught it by the tail and hurled it on the rocks, and it was broken in twain. I found a wild ox feeding in the fields, and seizing it by the horns and whirling it round and stunning it, I cast it from me and slew it. An ox. An ox. A man did this with his bare hands. And when the two kings of the Canaanites came, sheathed in armor against our flocks, and much people with them, single-handed I rushed upon the king of Hazor and smote him on the greaves, or basically greaves, I believe, are your shins, and smote him on the greaves and dragged him down, and so I slew him. And the other, the king of Tappuah, as he sat upon his horse, I slew, and so I scattered all his people. Achor the king, a man of giant stature, I found, hurling javelins before and behind as he sat on horseback. And I took up a stone of 60 pounds weight, and hurled it, and smote his horse, and killed it. And I fought with this other for 2 hours, and clave his shield in twain. He basically broke his shield in two. And I chopped off his feet, and killed him. And I was stripping off his breastplate, and as I was stripping off his breastplate, behold, 9 men, his companions, began to fight with me. And I wound my garment on my hand, and I slung stones at them, and killed 4 of them, and the rest fled. And Jacob my father slew Beelisath, king of all the kings, a giant in strength, 12 cubits high. Now a cubit, I think, is a biblical measure. I know. But if I'm not mistaken, a cubit is anywhere between 18 and 24 inches. So if he was 12 cubits high, do the math. All right. A man, where was I? Where's my spot? Okay. A giant in strength, 12 cubits high. So these men were fearless. They weren't even afraid of giants. All right. They killed giants for sport. All right. And fear fell upon them, and they ceased warring against us. Therefore my father was free from the anxiety in the wars when I was with my brethren. For he saw in a vision concerning me that an angel of might followed me everywhere, that I should not be overcome. Now, when you read the accounts of the battles of the Battle of Jerusalem, you see that even General Titus himself said that he saw a host leave from out of the top of the temple, and not long after that, the warriors of Judah fell. So, if he says here that he showed me in a vision concerning me that an angel of might followed me everywhere, that I should not be overcome, perhaps that was that angel saying, hey, you know what? I got orders. It's time to leave you guys, because you guys have got to be punished for your disobedience to the Most High. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back to this. And in the south there came upon us a greater war than that in Shechem. And I joined in battle array with my brethren, and pursued 1,000 men, and slew of them 200 men, and 4 kings. And I went up upon the wall, and I slew 4 mighty men. And so we captured Hazor, and took all of the spoil. On the next day we departed to Eretan, a city strong and walled and inaccessible, threatening us with death. But I and Gad, his brother, approached on the east side of the city, and Reuben and Levi on the west. And they that were upon the wall, thinking that we were alone, were drawn down against us. And so my brothers secretly climbed up the wall on both sides by stakes, and entered the city, while the men knew it not. And we took it with the edge of the sword. And as for those who had taken refuge in the tower, we set fire to the tower, and took both it and them. And as we were departing, the men of Tappuah set upon our spoil, and delivering it up to our sons, we fought with them as far as Tappuah. And we slew them, and burnt their city, and took as spoil all that was in it. And when I was at the waters of Kozeba, the men of Jobel came against us to battle, and we fought with them, and routed them. And their allies from Shiloh we slew, and we did not leave them power to come in against us. And the men of Machir came upon us the 5th day to seize our spoil. And we attacked them, and overcame them in fierce battle. For there was a host of mighty men amongst them. And we slew them before they had gone up the ascent. And when we came to their city, their women rolled upon us stones from the brow of the hill on which the city stood. And I and Simeon hid ourselves behind the town and seized upon the heights and destroyed this city also. And the next day it was told us that the king of the city of Gaash with a mighty host was coming against us. I, therefore, and Dan feigned ourselves to be Amorites, and as allies went into their city. So they pretended to be allies of theirs and went into their city. And in the depth of night, our brethren came, and we opened the gates to them, and we destroyed all the men and their substance, and we took for a prey all that was theirs, and their 3 walls we cast down. And we drew near to Thamnah, where was all the substance of the hostile kings. Then being insulted by them, I was therefore wroth, and rushed against them to the summit, and they kept slinging against me stones and darts. And had not Dan my brother aided me, they would have slain me. We came upon them therefore with wrath, and they all fled. And passing by another way, they besought my father, and he made peace with them. And we did to them no hurt, and they became tributary to us, and we restored to them their spoil. And I built Thamnah, and my father built Pabael. And I was 20 years old when this war befell, and the Canaanites feared me and my brethren. So that's all I'm going to read there. I just wanted you to see how strong these guys were. Now, he was a teenager. If he was 20 when that last war happened, he was a teenager smashing these dudes. So you wonder where you get your strength from. If you are a member of the tribe of Judah, meaning you are a product of the transatlantic slave trade. Now, I won't talk about the northern kingdom of the Israelites that were already on this land when the southern kingdom arrived in slave ships. Okay, I won't talk about them. Their testaments are in here as well, depending on what tribe they're descendants of. But we know that the children of Judah came across in the slave ships. All right. So now, if you're wondering where all of that prowess comes from, all that strength, all that speed, all of that, and that's just a fraction of these dudes. We're nowhere near as strong and as fast as those guys were. He ran down a deer. He chased down a wild horse on foot. It didn't say he was on a dirt bike in the field. It didn't say he was on a 4-wheeler. All right. He did this stuff barefooted probably, or with sandals, the tops. He didn't have on any Jordans. He didn't have on any Air Maxes. All right. These guys either wore sandals or were barefoot. All right. And he ran them down and killed these animals with his bare hands. That's what kind of strength you have in you, all right? And it didn't come from your being bred with the strongest of the strong being bred. That'd have been a whole lot of breeding, okay? That'd have been a whole lot of breeding, all right? They were all strong. Just assume that the majority of them are strong. When somebody like that is your patriarch, then that explains it. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope that this video did something for you. I hope that passage of reading did something for you. That was the Testament of Judah from the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Wait a minute, I just lost my spot. That was the Testament of Judah from the book, the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Okay, let me see if I can turn this around. And again, this is in. I'm going to show you the cover of this book one more time before I wrap this up, so you guys can look at it, get the picture, and download it. All right, let me see if I can move that up. Where is it? Okay. The Testament of Judah, the 4th son of Jacob and Leah. And this is the book titled, The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Okay. Left, right. Okay, there we go. Turn it. Go left. There we go. It's hard to do this in reverse. But anyway, Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. And this is the book, Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher with Complete Apocrypha by Derek Shaver. Again, I might get a book cover or something here to help to, shore up these flimsy covers. So that isn't the greatest from a quality standpoint. Again, when it's print on demand, this is what you can kind of expect. But again, when you're independent, I'm not knocking the brother. Look, you got to do what you got to do for your pocket. I mean, it doesn't take away from the content at all. So as you can see, my book's got a little wear and tear on it because I'm in it. Not in it enough. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. So listen, when you hear this the reason why, you got people like LeBron James that are strong, or people like, or name your favorite athlete who's strong, who can jump high, who's fast, or whatever. Usain Bolt. Name your favorite athlete, and then you'll understand that It wasn't just a matter of somebody being bred to be that way, and we're us being the offspring of people who were bred for that or whatever. That was your great granddaddy, all right? And his daddy Jacob was strong too. You saw what happened there. He slew a giant, all right? Jacob was the one that wrestled with the angel. We know that, right? So if that's who your patriarch was, that might explain where you get some of that strength from. So think about that the next time you're marveling at some of these feats of extraordinary strength, speed, power, whatever. All right. Anyway, guys, I could go on, but I want to get out of here because I've had a long day, and I'm going to save some of this, and we'll do another reading. But until the next time, for Maddie's Rap, this is your host, author Matt D. Talford. Check out some of my work. The links will be in the description. And again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe, share this channel. I'm dropping knowledge on here, folks. I'm dropping knowledge. This knowledge isn't being taught in schools. It's not being taught in church on Sunday. Your pastor probably telling you how you can be prosperous if you just keep sowing seeds into their multi-million dollar Learjets. I won't name any pastors in any cities in Atlanta or anything like that. Not hating, no shade, but some of y'all got to get on your game, man. You got to get on your game. Wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up. It's 2020. Wake up. Know who you are. Know thyself. This is your boy, author Matt D. Talford. Check out my books. Peace. All right, fellas, and ladies, if you're watching, there's one more thing, but this instruction is a little bit more for the fellas. I guess it could apply to the ladies too, but anyway, just wanted to give you one more outtake on the Testament of Judah that I didn't cover in the video that when I originally recorded this. So this is an outtake, but anyway, I just wanted to tell you that that's a very interesting chapter if you get a chance to read it, because once he gets done talking about the battle stuff and the fighting and all of that, he gives some sound advice on why you should not drink alcohol in the presence of very beautiful women. So listen, that's a good Testament of Judah. Check it out. For those of you that like to turn up, he's telling you exactly what types of things can happen when you're turning up in the presence of beautiful women, or you out drinking with women who are fine. And let's just say you better hope it's your lady if you're doing it. Peace, y'all.